Yo, welcome back to another Pokemon Scarlet Violet VGC video. I'm your host, Jose Rocks, and today I have some very good news for you guys. So it is now July 31st, and they have just released the next format that we're going to be playing for the next couple of months. So this one is really cool. So we're going to be playing Regulation J. We are going to a new format. This is actually a brand new format. So Regulation J is going to be, you're going to be able to use 2 restricted Pokemon, including the Mythical Pokemon. So this can be very, very interesting. If you guys remember, if you guys played in the Sword and Shield era, they had a format that was called Series 13. And this was like right after Worlds. I think the only World Championships in Sword and Shield. Right after it, we had Series 13. And this included all the Mythical Pokemon. But the problem with that format was that each Mythical Pokemon usually got outclassed by the Restricteds, and you were able to have any amount of Restricteds on your team, right? You can have your Veltile, Kyogre, you can have Zacian, you can have Calyrex, all of them on your team, and it was like very few of the Mythicals that actually were able to see any play due to that, because it was just crowded with, some teams had 6 Restricteds, you know? So with this format, you can only use 2. So I think that it means you can use 2 Restricteds and Mythicals, but it may mean that the Mythicals count as a Restricted, but I'm not 100% sure. So we're going to go ahead and get into some of the details. One more thing that I want to note is what Sarah B says right here. This is very important. So guys, look at this. So I think, don't quote me on this, I'm not sure because I've only been playing VGC since Sword and Shield, but I think this is the first time where the ranked battle ladder has a separate format than the regionals that'll be taking place. So the regionals that we have, like Pittsburgh, that's coming up, I'm gonna be there. So if you guys want to meet me or see me there, I'm gonna be competing there. So I see you guys there. But it's gonna be played with Regulation H rules. So that's where all the legendaries are banned. So that's gonna be super interesting with all the legendaries banned, right? So I'm interested to see how that's gonna play. Let me play this song back. Yeah, I'm interested to see how that's gonna play. I'm very curious to see like the adaptations from the previous Regulation H to this new Regulation H, since it's gonna be, you know, people competing for their World Championship points and stuff. So it's gonna be really fun. It's gonna be a really serious Regulation H, and then the kind of non-serious, you know, battles are gonna be on the ladder with Regulation J. And I get it. The reason Regulation J can't be, you know, a regionals format is because the Mythicals are usually only available during specific events. So the pool of them being usable is kind of lower. So they don't want to, you know, gatekeep people from being able to use them at regionals where they actually compete for championship points. So that makes sense. But I'm curious if they bring the global challenges back, if that's going to be Regulation J format, because then, you know, Mythicals are going to be inside of that. So let's go ahead and get into some details with this, and let's see what we have. I kind of want to see. So here are the new usually usable Pokemon. So you see, one thing to note, one of my favorite Mythicals that's not here is Marshadow. So Marshadow actually was in Series 13, but it's not in Scarlet and Violet, right? But Deoxys is new. We didn't have Deoxys in Sword and Shield. I think we had Manaphy. I know we didn't have Darkrai, right? So Darkrai is going to be new. I don't think we had Arceus either. I know we had Keldeo. I don't think we had Moletta. I know we had Diancie. We didn't have Hoopa. And of course we have Volcanion and Magearna. Magearna was insane in that format. It was actually one of the Mythicals that was able to keep up with some of the Restricteds. I think Marshadow was similar as far as keeping up with some Restricteds. Marshadow, its signature move steals all your boosts. So think of like Zacian came in at +1, then did a Swords Dance. Marshadow with like a Scarf can come in and do, it's like, I forgot what the name of the signature move, but it's a ghost type move. You can attack Zacian, right? And before you do damage, you're gonna steal Zacian's boost and add them to yourself, and then the attack goes off, right? So you get a +3 Marshadow ghost attack into the Zacian, which is absolutely insane with a Choice Scarf, right? So it's a really fun mod that you can just Dynamax it once you steal the boost and just go kind of crazy with it. It's fighting in Ghost, so it's similar to Annihilate. It was like the Annihilate before Annihilate, but it was like the first Ghost fighting type. So it had like perfect coverage across the board because you would just run close combat in his signature move and like Shadow Sneak. So it was a really cool Pokemon. But we have Petrarant here is going to be interesting. This is also something that wasn't in Series 13 because this is a Gen 9 mod. So I'm interested to see how this plays. So this is going to be really fun. So it isn't a huge pool of Pokemon getting added to it. I don't think Zarude will see any play because It depends. If they let you use two, you see the restricted here. It has them listed under restricted. So I'm thinking that you can only use two mythicals or two restricted, or one mythical and one restricted. Hold on. Sorry about that. Yeah, I gotta download. I gotta get this song incorporated. But so either you can use two mythicals, right? Two restricted, or one mythical, one restricted. And I think that kind of like that helps a little bit. But if you couldn't, if they were separate and you can just use them, then you can probably have like a bunch of mythicals on your team. But the cost of like dropping one of your restricteds that can be really strong, unless you just want to play with mythicals, if you really trying to win, it's gonna be hard to, like, if you got Calyrex and Miraidon, right? Why would you drop one of them for one of these, right? These just get outclassed by those two. The only one I can see keeping up is maybe still Magearna, but I don't even know how that's gonna play in a terrestrializing meta, right? It was good in Dynamax because you can just Dynamax and it's hard to remove. It can still be decent. I just don't see any of these being able to really keep up. I think that it should have been +1/+1, right? Where you have one restricted and one mythical required, so that you're forced to use like the mythics. Not saying really forced, but you're incentivized to, you have one mythical and one restricted, so you kind of build your team around the mythical plus the restricted. And I think it maybe would have flowed a little bit better that way, because I just don't see a lot of play getting out of these when you had the restricted still in the game. I mean, Mewtwo didn't even see play and it's a restricted, right? But you see they have like the Oxys, they're listed under the restricted Pokemon, so I think you can only use two of them. So people are really gonna just build teams just to see, you know, how these mons play with terrestrialization and see how fun they can be. I'm gonna build a team around every single mythical, so guys, stay tuned for that. If you guys want to, you know, play with those type of teams, you know, go ahead and subscribe to the channel. You know, I'm definitely gonna have some rental coming out at the start of the format, and leave a comment below which mythicals you want me to build a team around first. I will use one mythical plus one restricted, just so I'm not like just getting outclassed by just using two mythicals on a team. So we'll go with one. We're gonna do the one mythical, one restricted for our teams, right? And we're gonna, you know, play from that standpoint and see how many wins we can get. But let me know which ones you guys want me to build a team around first. I'm definitely gonna use the Oxys. That's one of my favorite mythicals too, and it's in the game. I never got to play with it competitively, so I am gonna try Deoxys. Like Deoxys, like Miraidon, I can see it being, you know, kind of fun or something like that. So we're gonna give it a try. One thing to note is that Greninja Battle Bond is still banned. I guess it's just too good for this game, so they don't want to bring it back. So that's still banned. So it really plays like a mega, I guess. So you still can't use it. It's interesting to see if they'll ever let that be usable. I don't even know. I think early on, before this might have been before my time in VGC. I think it might have been able to be used in VGC. I'm not sure though. I don't know if it was. I didn't really see any clips or anything of it, of how good it was. But I would like to play with it one day. But that's gonna be it for this video. I just wanted to make a quick video letting you guys know about the new format. I know I kind of rambled on a little bit, but I'm really excited about this format. You guys know I love to, you know, team build and come up with a lot of fun ideas. I could think of just so many different combos that you can do, right? I'm really hoping that it restricts you to only using one restricted and one mythical. I know it doesn't say that, but I hope that that's the case, because honestly, if it's just two restricteds and you can only use, you know, one mythical or restricted, I just don't see a lot of people dropping their restricteds for a mythical because they want to win, right? And it's kind of almost like free wins when you're going against, you know, other teams that may drop both restricteds for two mythicals and the rest is standard Pokemon, and it's kind of like playing an uphill battle, right? It's gonna be fun to see a Mewtwo and Mew team though. If you guys want to see something like that, leave a comment below. I can probably try to play around and, you know, build a competitive team around those two, right? Because Mew can do some interesting things since it can learn every move in the game, right? I can see some fun strategies that you can incorporate with terrestrialization, plus being able to use Mewtwo. So like the possibilities are endless, right? So if you guys want to see something like that, leave a comment below for that. But that's gonna be it for this video. I will catch you guys in the next one. Stay tuned. More new videos soon. Deuces.